name is Jake Shields. I grew up in Calaveras County, which is the foothills of California. I'm currently in San Francisco, California.
I've got something to say.
When I first thought when I step in the cage, it's usually a great feeling. You have the adrenaline going, the excitement, you hear the crowd. It's a really exciting feeling. I figured I wanted to become a fighter probably around, well, I met Chuck Liddell back in, about 99, and I kind of started doing it kind of for fun, playing around, and once I started doing it, I was hooked. I knew that's what I wanted to do. For me, I think fighting was kind of part of my lifestyle. I kind of grew up out, out in the mountains where people not a lot to do, so kids fight a lot. Well, I first went to Cesar Gracie's, when I moved to San Francisco, I'd been watching all those guys fight, like David Terrell, Gil Castillo. It was just a terror of a team back then, with the IFC and stuff, so right away, even though it's a 45-minute drive from San Francisco, I knew that was the team that I wanted to be part of, so I always wanted to be the best. There was no way I would train. I'm willing to do the drive. That's what it takes. So I was driving over there, and it was my first day there. Like I said, it was another humbling experience because before I got beat up by Chuck, but now I thought I was ready for a world title again, and that's when they sicked David Terrell on me, and just I think Cesar did on purpose to had David Terrell told him to take it to me. It choked me unconscious a couple times. Popped my elbow, popped my knee. I was hurt for a few weeks after training with Dave. I think we have the tightest team in the world probably. We've been together, we've been together like 9 years as a team before any of us were stars, any of us were famous. Most of these teams are constantly hanging around, but to me, Gilbert, Nick, Nate, these guys are like my brothers. There's a whole bunch of other guys as well that maybe not being limelight. We have a whole bunch of young, hungry, dedicated fighters over there. Gotten quite a few belts. I went to. The first belt I took was out in Shudo in Japan, which is quite a prestigious belt. Before me was held by Anderson Silva and Hato Sakurai before that. So that was a quite prestigious belt to hold in Japan. And then after that, I switched to Rumble in the Rock, where I won the Rumble in Rock tournament, and that was another big belt. It was a stag tournament. Guys like Yushin Okami, Anderson Silva, Carlos Condit, Dave Monet. It was definitely a legit tournament. And then from there, I went to Elite XC, won their title, and then switched to Strikeforce, won their title, and now I'm in the UFC, and obviously I like to always be the best wherever I'm at, so I don't expect any less here. Of course, belts have meanings. It's about the fight, of course. Fight always comes first. I would rather fight GSP for a non-title fight than fight whoever for a title fight. So the fight comes first. But the belts, it's a big honor, like having that belt, you're representing that show. It's like I was a Strikeforce champ. It's I'm the champ of Strikeforce. They might not treat me like the champ, but hey, I was still the champ, and I pride myself in it, and I'm still the champ. I have the belt, I have the belt upstairs. So and the UFC belt too. That's like the biggest belt in the world. If you have that, you're the champion of the world. I think the key to keeping my win streak going is don't let it get to your head and just keep working hard. I'm always trying to prove. Obviously I'm doing well, but I don't think I'm doing good enough. I'm my hardest critic. I never think I'm doing good enough. I'm always making mistakes. I'm never happy. I'm always trying to find a way to get better. I don't think I've seen the best. I think I'm gonna be a better fighter in a year than I am now. I don't think I've peaked out yet. I'm constantly trying to learn, and I'm open-minded. And I have no fear at all to go out there and trade and bang with people. But I want a long career. My specialty is jiu-jitsu. So why am I gonna stand there and trade punch for punch and get my head knocked in when I take someone out and tap them? I'm what they call a specialist in jiu-jitsu. I feel like I'm better jiu-jitsu than anyone in this game, and if I could take him down and beat him, why not do it? My style is a little different jiu-jitsu, the American jiu-jitsu I call it, and the reason is, first off, I've never trained with a gi. Most black belts have trained with a gi, and even some of the Brazilians tried to tell me I couldn't be a black belt, but I'll tap most of them out with my non-black belt. So I call myself a black belt in American jiu-jitsu, and it's the mix. I have my wrestling background, no gi, and it's about forcing things. A lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, the typical way is to sit back and wait for a guy to make a mistake. But I think MMA, you have 5-minute rounds. You can't wait 30 minutes for a guy to leave his arm out there nowadays. You gotta force something. So I try to force the submissions and force the takedowns and force the action. I think it's cool to be ranked top 5 at 2 weights. Not very many fighters can say that, and it's I think a lot of I see a lot of the best are the guys that try taking on 2 weights, and I just feel like something I'm willing to do, and hopefully in the UFC I'll fight both weights as well. The reason I wanted to fight St. Pierre the last few years, I think he's the best of the best, and my pound-pound rankings are kind of pointless, but if I had to do a pound-pound ranking, I'd put GSP number 1. So that's the guy I want to fight the best, and to test myself. I'm out here to see if I'm truly the best, and I think right now GSP is the guy who put his best, so I want to fight him, and I think it'll be a tremendously tough fight, but I believe in myself, and that's why I want to do it.